All right, going long on NASDAQ here. Entry is off a 5-minute inversion fair value gap. I highlighted it in just a second. I could have waited a little bit more on this, but I figured we were gonna draw right to those relative equal highs. Speaking of relative equal highs, I have them labeled. I'll label them in a second. They're right above that where I had that 5-minute fair value gap. Right near those old set of new week opening gap highs. I know it's a lot. This is kind of busy on my chart. There's a lot going on. Also to the left, I had in the previous macro, I had taken some shorts that I had gotten stopped out on. So that's what you see to the left. Anyway, I was targeting those relative equal highs. I figured that would be a nice draw on liquidity, especially that they were right smack in the middle of that previous new week opening gap. Looking to take a partial at the bottom of that 5-minute fair value gap that started that initial move down to take out those lunch lows. Added a second contract. I like the way price looks. I'm trying to get better at adding on, especially on like down close candles. If I would prefer to enter on a PD array, but if I could get a down close candle, and as long as I'm staying below, equilibrium, then I'm okay with that. I have my sell stop a little wide on this. I could have kept it a little tighter. I should have had it at least at the bottom of that inversion fair value gap from the start of the trade. I will admit that. So I'm a little risk heavy on this. I eventually fix it as we move up in price, but I should have had it at the bottom of that fair value gap. That inversion fair value gap. So right now the 5-minute looks really good. We're trading above another fair value gap. We're disrespecting it on the 5-minute. I want to see it close above it. And I really want to see how we react to that previous new day opening gap. I want to see how price reacts to it. Because initially on that move downward, it was a strong bearish reaction. So I want to see price, I want to see price act as if that never happened. I want to see it run through it, close above it, not show any signs of slowing down or resistance. This is also during the 950 to 1010 macro during Asia. I fucking love Asia, man. I feel like Asia's been really good to me. There's been a lot of like clean movement. No like wonky getting wicked out. It's been it's been nice. So we're we close above that previous new day opening gap. I like that. We're about to tap the bottom of this 5-minute fair value gap to get our first partial. I've already moved to break even. Shout out ICT, man. He had a video he put out earlier this morning. I'm about a quarter of a way through, but he kind of talks about that dealing range and not trying to look for these like grand slam home runs, but base hits. And I've been doing that, which is nice. It was nice to kind of watch some of that video and be like, oh, I'm actually doing this. Like I'm actually getting these like little base hits, and it's adding up, and it's a good feeling. It's rewarding, and you're giving yourself a range at which you're trying to find that draw on liquidity, and it's just so much nicer than, like, for example, if I look at those buy side liquidity, those smooth highs where I have on the 5 minute, where I have it labeled buy side liquidity smooth highs, price may reach to that. But if I'm only trading 2 contracts, right, it makes more logical sense for me to take partials at the bottom of that 5 minute fair value gap, or just above those previous end dogs, is to reward myself. You know, I've already been in the trade about 10 minutes. Everything's going my way, and it's a logical place to take a partial, and I don't need it to trade all the way up there, even though that it may do that. And I haven't looked at price this morning to see if it did that. I'm going to check, but you know, it's about finding base hits, low-hanging fruit objectives, and that has helped me more than anything with my trading. So I'm excited to watch the rest of that video. I feel like there's some gems in there that I'm gonna pick up. I used to watch his stuff, and I don't know, it was kind of alien to me, and I would have to watch it like 6 times just to kind of get somewhat of the message. But now, since I've been doing this for a while, I'm picking it up fairly quickly. I'm like resonating with it immediately. I'm understanding what he's saying, so that's nice. But that comes with experience, just time in this game. All right, I like how we're starting to push in this 5 minute fair value gap that I have labeled up there. I'm checking some of the other lower time frames to see if there's any PD array that price may want to revisit. So far so good. This honestly is the best feeling. Like you haven't taken that partial and you're just like, stop to break even. Well, let's see what it does. I mean, obviously there's no, when you hit your terminals, that's a great feeling too, but there's no better feeling than knowing that you made money, and regardless of what happens next, it really doesn't matter. So we have about 3 minutes left on that 5 minute candle, so I'm primarily focused on that. I like the juice that it seems that it has to go up higher. At this point in the trade, and we're just passing consequent encroachment. Love that right there. Yeah, right there I'm like, yeah, I got this. And we actually kind of wick to we might be a tick away from hitting my limit, but I'm confident. I'm not trying to jam my stop up or anything. I know we're gonna hit this. We're gonna run through that. And because we have that new week opening gap up there, the high, it's very sensitive. So I'm confident that price is gonna run up there and tag that limit order. Also, we passed one of our evals. Yeah, it's mad exciting. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna look to add some more evals if I can. And almost there. Come on. Start whistling to it. Hey, come here. There we go. Booked.